In this hour-long yoga nidra or non-sleep deep rest practice, we're going to take some time out completely for ourselves to explore a state of complete relaxation or stillness in both the body and the mind. So take these first few moments just to get yourself as comfortable as possible. We will be focusing on the breath as a tool to ease us down through layers of relaxation, and it will be useful if you can feel the breath as it moves the body. So if you're lying down, you might want to rest your hands on your tummy or your ribs in a way that's comfortable. Or if your arms are by your side, just see if you can have some contact between the upper arms and the rib cage. If you're sitting up, it will help to have the chair or a cushion or even a wall behind you, so that you can feel the back of the body moving later on in the practice. But of course, at any time, feel free to readjust your position, knowing that you won't disturb any stillness internally. So notice the weight of your body. Can you feel the heaviness of your limbs? Can you feel the heaviness of your head? You be aware of the weight or mass of your internal organs, your lungs, heart, your intestines. The weight of your eyeballs inside your eye sockets. Can you soften and relax the tiny muscles around your eyes? Can you feel the weight of the skin on your face? relaxing the muscles of the face. Softening any expressions or tension that you might be holding there. Feel the heaviness of the tongue inside the mouth. The tip of the tongue. The surface of the tongue. And the root of the tongue at the very back. Allowing the tongue to be completely heavy and rested. And then notice the heaviness down the left side of your body, left side of your head, left rib cage, left hip, left leg, foot, arm and hand. Notice if you're resisting gravity. And see if you can just submit. Letting go of any tension on the left side. And noting the right side of the body, right side of the face and head, right ribs, shoulder, hip, leg, foot, arm and hand. Being aware of any resistance to gravity or strain or tension in the right side. Seeing if you can allow that right side to be completely heavy and at rest. Any tension falling out. letting the entire body be at rest. And just leaving it still for the rest of this practice, as if it doesn't belong to you anymore. And coming now to the lightness of the breath in complete contrast to the heaviness of the body. And first, being aware of any sensation you can feel just at the border of the top lip underneath the nostrils. Maybe there's a light touch of air on the edge of that lip, right at the very top. Or maybe the breath is so soft that it's hard to notice any sensation there. Bringing that attention slightly higher to the very rim of the nostrils. Not inside the nostrils, but right at the edge of the opening. What can you notice there? Is there a sensation of movement or temperature? Do you notice a sound or noise that accompanies any sensation? Take your attention higher inside the left nostril and the right nostril now. nothing exists except the inside of the nostrils, and any awareness of sensation bring all of your focus just into the left nostril. One side is probably more open and clear than the other and has more sensation, but that doesn't matter. Just take all attention to the left side of the nostril. And allow that to shift over to the right side. All of your focus rests inside the right nostril. Does one side feel different to the other? Are you now able to expand your focus to notice them both equally, even if one seems to have greater sensation? And moving even deeper, can you feel the area where the breath or the air makes contact with the back of the throat? Travels through the nostrils and hits and makes contact with an area around the back of the throat somewhere. Let all of your attention rest there. Don't need to label or analyze what you're feeling. Even if we do say it's cold or it's warm, it doesn't really describe what we're feeling. It's just a label. You notice anything in that area as you breathe out, or only as you breathe in? We're moving further back. Is there any sensation that you can feel between the coolness at the back of the throat and then the lungs expanding? Can you notice or feel or be aware of anything between those 2 points? Maybe deeper in the throat area or in the upper chest. Sometimes there's a feeling of slight resistance or tightness. You might label it as something totally different, it doesn't matter. Just let the awareness of the experience be enough. And sinking now deeper down. Can you notice the left side and the right side of the ribs moving as the lungs inflate? You feel that tightness against the muscles at the side of the body. As they stretch. Noticing the resistance. And noticing that resistance pass away each time you exhale. The muscles relax. Just stay with the chest and the lungs moving for the next 4 or 5 breaths. You're going to focus especially on that feeling of the ribs moving against your hands or against your upper arms. I'm going to use that as our guide for some feedback. And see if you can just very slightly lengthen your breath, maybe just by 1 or 2%. Not taking any more air in or out, just slowing down the breath. So it becomes just a few percent longer or slower, whatever makes more sense for you. If you find that you feel slightly short of breath, then you've gone too far, you've slowed it down too much. Just see if you can find perfect balance. The breath can be as slow as possible. Without there being any sense that you're short of breath. Really, you're just relaxing and softening. You're not overdoing or over breathing. And returning again to the feeling of the ribs moving against your hands or your arms. I'm going to see if we can just focus on the right side of the chest. Can you just breathe into the right lung? It might be a moment where the brain staggers or stalls for a moment as it tries to work out how it might do that. But can you focus on just feeling the movement in the right side of the ribs? If you're struggling, you can always just squeeze your arm or your hand gently against the right side, just so your brain knows where it's aiming for. And of course, there's still going to be movement in the left as well, but we're just trying to focus our effort on the right side. Try not to add any tension to the shoulders or face. Just see if it's possible to inflate the right side more than the left. And again, this will be a very small amount. We're not over breathing or exaggerating the breath in any way. Just this gentle pulsating on the right side of your chest, the right ribs. It seems to occupy all of your attention. Almost like a gentle massage, very soothing. Are you now able to gently shift that effort to the left side of the chest? You're now focusing on the left lung. And again, the brain will just stagger or stall for a moment as it tries to make that adjustment. If there's a struggle, just push gently on the left side with your arm or your hand so that your brain can find it. Relaxing or softening the right side. Generally, after 5 or 10 breaths, we're able to locate that left side. You may notice that the left feels different to the right. Maybe the movement is more subtle or harder to detect. Maybe it's easier. You might even get a sense of your heart just located above the left lung. This subtle, gentle communication between your left lung inflating and your heart just doing its work in the background. And now from the left side, we're just going to drop the breath down towards the pelvis so that we can feel the belly moving. The soft inflation of the tummy as we breathe in, and a falling of the tummy as we breathe out. Drop that focus even deeper below the belly button. Almost as if you're breathing down into the bowl of the pelvis. Might even feel as if you can sense a gentle opening of the pelvis and closing. keep that focus low down underneath the navel. And now allow the breath to fall backwards into the body, back towards the spine, behind the belly button. Feel the bed or the chair or the floor against your lower back. And just direct your breath into that lower back area. Being aware of any resistance, movement, a gentle sensation of the lower back opening up and spreading as the breath moves in and out. Again, almost feeling as if our lower back is receiving a comforting massage. And you might start to notice that you can feel the left and right sides of the lower body also gently moving below the ribs, between the pelvis and the lower ribs. Just a gentle expansion outwards as you breathe in. And breath stays soft and slow. So for the next few minutes, just going to play with a little movement or rotation of the breath. And again, the fact that it takes some focus is actually a useful thing. So see if you can just get into a gentle rhythm of taking one complete breath into the right side of the ribs, then one into the left, and then one breath into both sides of the ribs, and the final one into the lower body, into the abdomen, the lower back, the lower sides. So one side of the ribs, then the other, then both sides together, and then one breath into the lower body. Just gently soothing your nervous system, easing it into this state of deep rest and relaxation. And allowing that breath to just fill the entire upper body, the left and right lungs, the rib cage and the tummy, all at the same time. And over the next 4 or 5 breaths, you're just going to allow that inflation or that expansion to become a little longer, a little bigger than it is right now. A bit more active. Like those breaths that you take when you first wake up in the morning, you're coming out of sleep. You suddenly notice the breath just becomes a bit more lively. Doesn't mean we have to let go of any state of calm or stillness that we might or might not have dropped into. We can bring that out with us, but we notice that our physical body is just starting to reappear. As our breath fills up our arms, hands, legs and feet, all the way up to our head, The next few breaths, just completely refreshing us, washing away anything that we don't need to carry through the rest of our day. Maybe just starting to feel some gentle movement re-emerge to our fingers and our toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Maybe taking a stretch, rubbing the hands, rubbing the face, or anything that feels useful for you to help you just reconnect. Noticing the space around you, the ground underneath you. And knowing that sometimes it can take a while just to come back out of such a deep relaxation. And I hope that was useful in some way.